Good day. In today's video, we will be discussing global media culture. Let us first discuss the intended learning outcomes. Number one, understand how scholars have approached the relationship between media and globalization. Number two, differentiate the paradigm that developed in international communications development. Number three, explain the strengths and weaknesses of the paradigm which lead to its loss of appeal. Number four, apply the theoretical tools in real world context. And number five, equip students with 21st century learning and develop higher order thinking skills that will lead towards a deeper understanding of global media cultures, as well as correlate the said concept to the Philippines in general and to oneself in particular. Now, I'd like you to analyze this picture. What can you say about this picture? Okay, I'm giving you 5 seconds to analyze the picture very carefully. Okay, so moving on, let's try to analyze the picture. What can you say about the picture? The picture is all about the picture is all about influence. Why influence? Now, if you will note that there were Disney characters who were dressed in a military dress, or dressed in a military attire. And they're trying to invade a particular island. Okay, and they are using the products of Coca-Cola. They're using commercial products, and the reaction of the people of that particular island, they were frightened. They are running after their lives. Now, to sum up, the picture tells us about the influence of media to the minds of people. Okay, so influence leading to one's conviction, and of course, one's conviction leading to our topic, global media culture. Now, uh, for us to be able to understand more about the definition of global media culture, let's try to analyze the statement coming from the founder of Jeet Kune Do, and a very famous celebrity during his time, none other than Bruce Lee. Let me read it for you. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless like water. If you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, and it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now, water can flow or it can crash. Okay, so I'm giving you 5 seconds to analyze this statement coming from Bruce Lee. Okay, so how do you understand this statement coming from Bruce Lee? What does it mean? Yes, it only means that we are what we think. So nobody can tell you what you will become in the future except you yourself, because we know ourselves very well. By this time, I believe that you know yourselves now. So regardless of the pressure, regardless of the disbelief of people against you and yourself, it is only you who can uh, reach for the highest dream of your life. Okay, so nobody can dictate you what you would like to do except you and yourself. Of course, you will encounter problems, but at the end of the day, and at the end of our lives, it is our decision that matters most. Again, this statement only means that we are what we think. If you think that you're pretty, you will be pretty the rest of your life. If you think that you're ugly, you will be ugly the rest of your life. If you think that you'll be successful, you'll be successful for the rest of your life. Okay. Now, what's the question? What's the relationship of this to our discussion? Our discussion is all about global media culture. And the influence is more on the influence of media to the minds of people. Okay, so the underlying question here is, how do media influence people's mind? Right, so moving forward, let us now give the definition of global media culture. Okay, so what is global media culture? It represents the cultural otherness, at times of threat to cultural tradition and autonomy. It often contributes to a development of local culture, bringing them in a contact and afar with the social reality of global community. So when we talk about global media culture, we are trying to identify, we are trying to to look into the changes brought about by media to the lives of people in different areas of the world, and uh, how this how this technological advancement affects the culture of those people. That is global media culture. Okay, so again, global media culture is all about, we're trying to identify the influence of media to the lives of people in different places of the world. Okay, now there are three models of global media culture. We will discuss them one by one. Number one, communication and development. So, communication and development, it views media as an instrument of change in developing countries with its capacity to alter values, attitudes towards modernization. So, what does it mean? So, communication and development. Media is used as a tool for communication and development. And because of the use of media and the advancement in media, people's lives change. People's values, beliefs change because uh, the advancement in technology, people's the communication lines are open and continuous, not unlike in the past that you have to you have to wait for months to receive the message coming from the other side of the world. But now, with the use of media and with the use of social media and the advancement in technology, uh, people nowadays can communicate even if they are far from each other and of different time from each other. Okay, next, number two, cultural imperialism. Cultural imperialism asserts an uneven relationship in the flow of hardware transfer of technology and media, alongside the software transfer of cultural products that contribute to the dependency on the part of the developing countries. That's according to Rantanen 2005. So, to give you a much more uh, simple explanation about cultural imperialism focuses more on the flow of technology coming from developed countries to developing countries. Now, how do the how does this flow of technological advancement affect each? Well, on the side of the developed countries, they have nothing to prove because they are already developed. But on the side of the developing countries, they rely more on the technological advancement brought into them by the developed countries. This is uh, the situation in relation to cultural imperialism. The dependency. It's more on the dependency of the developing countries to the technological advancement coming from developed countries. Okay, in a way, uh, there is no sense, there is no, uh, there is no sense of invasion, but through trade and through uh, the transfer of technology from developed countries to the developing countries, somehow, some way, the developing countries are dependent to the developed countries in this particular aspect. Okay, next, number three, cultural pluralism. Okay, so the definition, it asserts a more optimistic view on the diversity of media relations constitute a variety of producers and locale. That is again coming from Rantanen 2005. So what does this mean? To give you a much more simple explanation about cultural pluralism, because of the onset of the advancement in technology, uh, the different cultures are being exposed because of media. Therefore, with the exposure of the different culture to the different people around the world, there is what you call the acceptance of diversity, the acceptance of diversity of culture, uh, and the opening of acceptance to the different nations, to the different people around the globe. Okay, so that is cultural pluralism, and this is because of technological advancement, social media, for in particular, for example, in Facebook, um, for example, in Twitter, for example, uh, in Instagram. Now, because of this medium, cultural differences are exposed to different people from different countries around the world. Okay, so uh, we'll not do the activity because this is supposed to be for live classes only. But then we will proceed to the uh, questions uh, that is in relation to the activity. So let's try to answer the first analysis question, number one. How do media affects the belief of people? Now, on you. Now you, on your part, how do you think media affects the belief of people? To be honest with you, nowadays media is the most simple way to attract, to influence the minds of people. How? Through the use of television, radio, social media, and commercials. People's minds are conditioned uh, to the programs being watched and being showed in this medium. For example, during elections, we usually see a lot of candidates uh, who who expresses their willingness to serve our country through media advertisements. Now, there are also times that we usually see surveys with regards to the standing of candidates for a particular government post. Actually, if you will try to analyze this, all of these things are uh, a form of conditioning the minds of the viewers. So therefore, uh, media affects the belief and minds of people because whatever whatever that is shown in media or in social media, usually the people believe in it because they see, they visualize, they can see the pictures, they can see the video itself, and usually to influence and to attract the beliefs of people, they ask they comments and the suggestion and the opinions of popular personalities. Okay, next, what must be done to address fake information? The first one is we have to be we we must possess a skeptic mind, meaning uh, we should not accept all that is being showed to us in media or in social media. So second, we must validate all those things that are being showed in media and in social media. That way, we'll be able to understand who is telling the truth. Next, how do globalization affect the media industry? Of course, because of globalization, the continuous movement of goods and services from the different parts of the world, uh, media industry nowadays adapt to the current trends. For example, the current advancement in technology is being showed in television and in social media. Okay. Now, do you think the media entities nowadays are telling the truth? Oh, why and why not? Well, it depends on you. For example, uh, for example, uh, the public television and private television. So if uh, we'd focus our mind in public television, we can say that probably probably uh, all the news being relayed to its viewers are the achievements of the government, and on the side of the private, um, probably, and there's a possibility that you'll receive or you will see a different approach with regards to the delivery of the news. Well, it really depends on the viewers, their preference. It really depends on the preference of the viewers. The thing here is we have to have a critical and analytical mind before we believe in everything that we see in social media. Because at the end of the day, it is our mind who will analyze the truth about what we see. Do you have any questions? There being none, class dismissed. Bye bye.